I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here at Missoula County, we recognize that this event takes place in the Aboriginal territories of the Salish and Kalispel people. Closed captioning is available. Cheryl.
Hello, everyone. If you are joining us for this meeting today virtually, instructions for turning on closed captioning are on your screen. If you're joining us in person, we'll have closed captioning on all the screens here in the Sophie Moise room, and we also have assisted listening devices available. Please come to me if you would like one, and I'll get one for you. We ask that all speakers today, please remember to speak slowly and clearly during the meeting. This will help with the accuracy of the closed captioning. There will be multiple chances during the meeting for public comment. During those times, if you would like to speak, we ask that you use the raise hand feature if you're on Microsoft Teams. This is a small hand button. If you're calling in on the phone, you'll need to hit *5 to raise your hand. Then once called on, you'll need to hit *6 to unmute. If you have any questions or concerns, please find me during the meeting and let me know.
Is there any public comment on items not on the agenda? Come on up. And then just make sure to, turn on the microphone and bring it up close to your mouth. Yeah, there we go.
Mike Harrison, I spoke with you guys, probably a month or so or better about the sheriff's department. And one of the things I wanted to address today is the no parking out at the Chevron. And I took pictures, very good pictures, no parking stuff. The officer told me he can't go off of that. I told him I'm willing to sign a complaint because he doesn't know who's driving the truck. Well, to me, that's a fallacy, because if he goes out there and issues a ticket and has the truck towed, he don't know who's driving the truck. So to me, that's just passing the buck. The sergeants and the powers to be don't want to talk to me, and that's frustrating because they know I'll give them a piece of my mind. My other question is, have you guys addressed the officers living out of county, particularly the Ravalli County? I don't know which ones live where. I don't want to get into that as far as stalking. When I met with the sheriff, he assured me they all cross the county line at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. To go on and off a shift. I would be quite inquisitive to know if that's truthful or not. Right now, you got a deputy 490 parked over here in the shade. I bet you a nickel he didn't pay the city coffers parking meter fee, but he's got a whole sheriff's parking lot over here to park in, but he's parked under a nice shade tree there. So, it just rolls on and on and on that they're not being held accountable. And like I told Josh Slotnick when I talked to him a while back, is, you guys as commissioners, you dabble in a little of everything in this county, and you expect the people that are the powers to be in different offices to tell you the truth. And I don't think you're hearing the whole truth. And those sheriff's cars are not cheap to drive. They don't need to take them out of state when they go to other officers' funerals. They need to be held accountable for the money that they're spending to drive those cars. I'm not, and I'll say it again, and I've said it to a lot of people, I'm not defund the police, period. They need more. But I've been hearing for the last 15 years, they're 5 or 6 men short up there. And you would think that they would have gotten those problems resolved. But to reiterate, what the sheriff told me is they've been taking their cars home since the days of Doug Chase was the sheriff, and he explained to me why, because they only had 6 cars in the county, and when one of them wasn't quite wrapped up, another one was standing around twiddling their thumbs waiting for the deputy to show up to be able to go to work. That's understandable. And the reason I got on this kick several years ago is when a deputy sheriff point blank tells me F Missoula County and their taxes. That's why I moved to Ravalli County. That really pissed me off.
Okay, thanks, Mike. And real quick to respond, I know that we've talked about the parking out at, well, Commissioner Stormeyer just spent some time out there this weekend. I don't know if you had anything to add.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know when it was that you spoke to the deputy, but vehicles have been towed from out there in the recent past since we put the signs up. So towing is going on based on availability for law enforcement to actually be out there. So not every single vehicle is getting towed, but there have been vehicles towed, and I went out there and looked at the Brickyard Hill signage, and this morning we requested additional signs go up so that nobody has an excuse for not knowing that it's no parking. So hopefully that will continue to improve. And as far,
When we'll be seeing Sheriff Peterson soon, and we can rehash the concerns you brought up about deputies living across county lines.
and we have
And vehicles.
discussed it recently.
I've talked to the Director of Human Resources that deals with the contracts, and I've talked with the risk management people, and they're all curious about that too. And also the county auditor is curious about that. The county auditor point blank told me that he was not able to get along with TJ. TJ tried to bully everybody, and hopefully this Jeremiah isn't that way.
Okay.
But my big kick is don't lie to me about, I don't know who's driving the truck, because if they ticket the truck, they don't know who's driving the truck. And it makes them look foolish in the long run because you point blank lie to me. And when I call up there and tell them I want to file a complaint, nobody wants to call you back.
Understood. Okay. Well, thank you. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Okay, we only have, claims received as of August 17th, 2023 to August 18th, 2023 by the Commissioner's Office, total $598,859.97. We have one hearing today with Matt Heimel on adopting the final resolutions to amend the floodplain regulations.
Hey, good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Matt Heimel with the Department of Planning, Development, and Sustainability. I have a short presentation about our final resolution to adopt amendments to the floodplain regulations. Oh, excuse me, I need to share the screen first. Okay, so to bring us up to speed, on July 27th, the Commission adopted a resolution of intent to adopt the amendments to the floodplain regulations.
Can you put it in presentation view so it's a little bit
Oh, excuse me.
larger?
Looks like we're in the wrong view.
Wrong view.
Maybe I just do screen. That do it?
Thank you.
Okay, so the Clearwater River Mapping Project has been in the works since 2012 to modernize floodplain mapping. There was approximate floodplain mapping for the Clearwater River done in the 1970s. And so today's hearing is for the final step on the process, which is adopting the final flood insurance study and flood insurance rate maps. We have had a map viewer that has been available for several years actually, and we've had some property owners and callers who've been interested in their properties, and these floodplain maps were actually adopted as best available data in 2022 as well. So the preliminary maps that were issued a couple years ago were validated by FEMA. There were no changes. So the final flood insurance study for the Clearwater River is effective on October 5th, 2023. There were no appeals received by FEMA. And so for continued participation in the National Flood Insurance Program, the floodplain regulations need to be updated or shown to be in compliance with state and FEMA standards every time the flood insurance study is updated. So that is the impetus for these changes. So the amendments to the floodplain regulations that are being considered by this resolution are really references to the flood insurance study date and the adoption dates. The amendments being considered do not include any there are no changes to the construction standards, for example. So really references to the updated study to the Clearwater River. So that is a very brief overview of what we had. If there's any background information you'd like as well, I'd be happy to go through the maps. However, this is, as I said, the final step in a long process, and also a requirement for Missoula County under the NFIP.
Do you have anything to add?
Not unless there's any.
Benny? Okay,
What's the? I move to approve the resolution to amend the Missoula County floodplain regulations, adopting final flood hazard determinations for the Clearwater River.
second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks for your work on this.